Yeah, I was frustrated. I was frustrated to hear a plethora of things that have gone on in this city, and it happens to be a lot of to do with policy.
Warner Robins policies are in question after 3 Public Works employees were terminated and now have their jobs back. Good Monday evening to you. Thanks for watching Wgxa News at 10. I'm Aaron Leedy. It was one of the main topics of tonight's council meeting. Wgxa's Jayla Whitfield was there. She joins us now with more on what happened. Jayla.
Aaron, that's right. Those 3 Public Works employees were terminated for misusing public equipment on private property. After they received that termination, they appealed it and they were allowed to have their jobs back. The names of those individuals are Keith Watson, Kenneth Allen, and Michael Odom. Now, Warner Robins taxpayers don't agree with this decision, but it was out of the council and mayor's hands.
It's worth it. I know the morale of the city is looking pretty bad with bringing back people who have been proven to have used property and received money and things. It looks bad.
And it is embarrassing. And we do need to make a change. And I believe that we can do that.
Judge ruled to reinstate the employee. At that point, the department head would have to appeal the case to the council.
Yeah, but that never happened. The council never had a chance to decide on the reinstatement of these 3 employees. Each piece of equipment that was used was worth tens of thousands of dollars. Now, community members tell me something must be done.
When someone wrongfully used property of another for their own purpose or alter for their own means, and from my understanding by research, councilors and honorable men, somebody got paid. Somebody was on city time. And they was on private property.
Now, Michael Odom received a 90-day suspension and Keith Watson received a 60-day suspension. The other individual was up for retirement leave and he'll be receiving a pension. Now, this is an ongoing story. It's continuing to develop, and as we have more details, we'll be sure to get those to you. But for now, in the control room, Jayla Whitfield.
Jayla, thanks. The Warner Robins Police Department says it has a clearance rate above the national average. Captain Chris Rook says each year they see about 3 to 4 homicide cases, but last year they saw 9. Rook says this number puts a strain on the community and the department. He says when a homicide happens, a whole team is dedicated to finding the suspect.
And as the leads slow down, we kind of back off on that team. But we take a unit our size that we have 10 investigators. We're already short-staffed as far as investigators are concerned, and they work hard. So a homicide case could shut this office down for about 2 weeks, and we have to kind of try to manage that.
Rook says in 2016 they had an 86% clearance rate. In 2017 they had a 100% clearance, and last year Rook says they cleared 89% of those cases. Happening now, Bibb County investigators are looking into a 22-year-old man who was shot just after 5 o'clock this evening. Investigators are looking into exactly where that shooting took place. Deputies say the man was taken to the medical center Navicent Health in stable condition. Continuing coverage tonight as the man and woman accused of killing 3-year-old Camille McKinney appeared in an Alabama courtroom today for a hearing. McKinney is the child who made national headlines after she went missing. Her body was later discovered. Patrick Stallworth and Derek Brown are charged with capital murder in McKinney's death. According to court documents, McKinney died of asphyxiation after being kidnapped on October 12th.
I think the biggest thing will be at trial of the public's opinion. There's so many facts that are false or embellished, and that's going to be our biggest problem, is overcoming the taint of the community, which will, be the jury ultimately.
And tonight we know both suspects are being held in jail without bond.
Good evening, everyone. Jeff Cox with you on this Monday night. Welcome into the WGXA News Skywatch Weather Center. Temperatures tonight will stay much warmer than the last couple of nights. You may have noticed the cloud cover across the region today. No rain, but not a lot of sunshine. Well, it's that cloud cover that will keep us very mild tonight. So this morning you woke up to the 30s. I think in the morning we'll probably wake up to the 50s, and that's where many of us are tonight. 54 in Gray, 55 in Dublin and Milledgeville, 55 in Warner Robins, 57 on the map in Perry. Some folks to the south are still holding on to the low 60s at this hour. Here in Macon, it's 57 with the wind coming in from the northeast at 6 miles per hour. Boy, it's been dark for several hours now. That time change, still got to get used to it, right? Sunset around 5:40 now. Certainly an hour earlier than when we last talked last week. All right, let's look ahead to your Tuesday with our school day forecast. And there it is, wall-to-wall cloud cover, start to finish. And yes, maybe a couple of showers as well. Mid-50s at the bus stop, upper 60s by lunchtime, up to around 70 for the ride home. Later in this half hour, tomorrow happens to be election day as well. So I'll walk you through election day from polls open to polls closed, what you can expect hour by hour. There is a brief warm-up in the forecast, but I'll warn you, cold nights are on the way back. We'll time it out with your 10-day forecast. That's just minutes from now.
All right, Jeff, we'll see you then. We are following several developing stories tonight across the country. The Trump administration is beginning its formal withdrawal from the Paris Climate Accord. Plus, President Trump coming down hard on the whistleblower, demanding their identity be revealed. And the House Intelligence Committee releases transcripts from interviews with 2 U.S. officials, which were conducted as part of the impeachment inquiry into President Trump. But first, we start with that formal withdrawal regarding the Paris Climate Accord. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo releasing a statement to the United Nations and the public today. Now, this marks the first step in a year-long process to leave the landmark agreement to reduce emissions of planet-warming gases. According to the terms of the agreement, the United States withdrawal will take effect in exactly 1 year. The move is another push from the administration that has made rolling back environmental regulations a top priority, including replacing the Clean Power Plan, attempting to loosen fuel economy standards. President Trump is demanding the whistleblower's identity be revealed, the president saying in part the whistleblower gave false information and dealt with corrupt politician Adam Schiff. He must be brought forward to testify. Written answers, not acceptable. Well, some House Republicans, like Mark Meadows, are pushing to have the whistleblower testify in person. And key witness testimony has been made public in the impeachment inquiry proceedings against President Trump. The release includes testimony by former Ukraine Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch and Michael McKinley, former senior advisor to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Yovanovitch told lawmakers that the rogue Ukraine policy, led by President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, was not good policy and kind of a partisan game that cut the ground from underneath. McKinley said he was disturbed by the implication that foreign governments were being approached to procure negative information on political opponents. New at 10, could you make it out of this scenario alive? There are tools on the market that can help save your life, but depending on how your vehicle is made, those tools may not even work. Putting it to the test straight ahead.